Imagine the sun goes down, and there is nothing. No streetlights, no phone screen glowing in your hand, no porch light, just you, your fire, and a darkness so total you can't see your own hand in front of your face. This was every single night for over 99% of human history. So what did our ancestors actually do when the world went black? Today we're diving into the hidden, terrifying, and surprisingly social world of nighttime for early humans. Before electricity, before street lamps, before the modern world made darkness optional. For early humans, night wasn't just dark, it was dangerous. Predators like big cats and hyenas hunted more effectively in low light, and human night vision is poor compared to most nocturnal animals. Our eyes simply weren't built to compete after sunset. No claws, no natural camouflage, no ability to see in near total darkness. Just soft skin and slow legs in a world full of things that could see us long before we could see them. Anthropologists believe this constant threat shaped human behavior at a deep level. People clustered close together, kept fires burning through the night, and rarely ventured far from camp after dusk. Some researchers even argue that our fear of the dark isn't some irrational modern quirk. It's an evolutionary hand-me-down, a survival instinct baked into our brains by hundreds of thousands of years of very real nighttime danger. This is likely one of the reasons humans are diurnal, active by day, while so much of the animal kingdom rules the night. We didn't just prefer daylight. In a very real sense, night nearly forced us out of existence more than once. The control of fire, dating back at least 400,000 years, was arguably the single most important survival technology our ancestors ever developed. It didn't just mean warm food. It extended the human day, pushed back predators, provided warmth in cold climates, and created a literal circle of safety carved out of the darkness. Think about what that circle of firelight actually meant. Inside it, light, warmth, faces, safety. Outside it, an unknown world of eyes in the dark. For early humans, that boundary between firelight and shadow may have been one of the most psychologically significant lines in daily life, a nightly ritual of stepping back inside the boundary of safe as the sun went down. But researchers who study modern hunter-gatherer societies, like the Juhuanzi of the Kalahari Desert, suggest fire did something else too, something less about survival and more about the mind. It changed how humans talk to each other. During the day, hunter-gatherer conversations tend to be practical: logistics, complaints, who found food where, minor disputes. But research on groups like the Juhuanzi found that after dark, conversation shifted dramatically. Gone were the day's practical matters. In their place, storytelling. Myths, histories, jokes, gossip, and social bonding took over almost entirely. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner, who studied this pattern extensively, found that nighttime firelit talk carried a very different emotional and social texture than daytime talk. It built empathy. It transmitted cultural knowledge, where the ancestors came from, who wronged whom generations ago, how to treat strangers, what the world beyond the camp was like. Some researchers argue this nightly firelight ritual may have been one of the earliest forms of human culture building, a nightly software update for the group's shared knowledge, values, and relationships. In a world without books, without writing, without any way to record information except memory, these nights around the fire may have been humanity's very first classrooms. Here's something wild. Historical records suggest many pre-industrial humans didn't sleep in one continuous block the way most of us do today. Historian A. Roger E. Kirch spent over a decade combing through diaries, court records, medical texts, and literature from pre-industrial Europe, and found extensive evidence of what's now called segmented sleep. The pattern went like this. People would go to bed shortly after dusk for a first sleep, lasting a few hours. Then, sometime around midnight, they'd wake, not in distress, but as a completely normal part of the night. This waking period could last an hour or more, and it wasn't wasted time. People used it for quiet conversation, prayer, reflection, checking on animals, even visiting neighbors. Then they'd drift into a second sleep until morning. What's remarkable is how ordinary this seemed to people at the time. There are references to it scattered casually throughout historical texts, as if everyone simply understood what first sleep meant, the same way we'd casually mention before lunch today. This segmented pattern seems to have faded only after artificial lighting, first gas lamps, then electric light, made it normal and socially desirable to compress rest into a single continuous block and stay on for longer into the evening. With no artificial light drowning out the stars, the night sky for ancient humans wasn't background noise, it was information, a genuinely usable tool. Early humans used the position of stars for navigation across open land and sea, tracked lunar cycles for timekeeping, and built early calendars around seasonal star patterns to know when to hunt, when to migrate, and eventually, with the rise of agriculture, when to plant and harvest. Some of humanity's oldest myths are essentially ancient astronomy lessons wrapped in story, passed down around the fire generation after generation. The constellations we still name today, Orion, the Pleiades, the Great Bear, carried practical survival, meaning long before they carried myth. A hunter-gatherer who could read the sky could predict the seasons more reliably than one who couldn't, and that knowledge was often quite literally a matter of life and death. Beyond fear, fire, sleep, and stars, night served one more essential function. It was often the only time an entire community was reliably together in one place. During the day, people scattered, hunting, gathering, foraging, tending to separate tasks across different parts of the landscape. Night pulled everyone back to a single point of light. This nightly convergence may have played a critical role in group cohesion. Arguments got settled, alliances got reinforced. Children absorbed the norms and history of their people simply by listening in the dark, half awake, to adults talking above their heads. In many ways, the campfire was humanity's original town hall, classroom, and therapy session, all rolled into one flickering, smoky package. So the next time you complain about a sleepless night, remember, for most of human history, night wasn't dead time. It was story time, survival time, and, under a sky full of stars, some of the only quiet time humans ever had. If you found this as fascinating as I did, hit subscribe, because next time we're exploring what happened when humans finally lit up the night for good.